Hey guys, so basically I just wanted to do a quick video on green tea. I have been trying everything to lose weight, if you guys have been watching me. And I live in Flushing, New York, which is a very heavily Asian populated area. And I've noticed that Asian people always look good and they're always thin and they always drink a lot of green tea. So what I started to do is I'm looking around at every culture that I feel has discovered the key to weight loss, and I'm copying them. And when I tell you that my whole life has changed, like my whole life has changed. Okay, Jewish people. Turmeric is their secret, right? And I made a whole video on it. They just take turmeric every day and it helps with the inflammation of your bowels. It also helps increase your metabolism, and it does a lot of things for like your memory. It helps to avoid Alzheimer's, a bunch of amazing things. Turmeric. So every morning I just take a spoonful of turmeric, I put it in my mouth, and then I take a shot of vinegar, because vinegar is really good for cleaning out your intestinal system. This might not work for everybody because there's a lot of people that can't handle pure vinegar. They need to water it down. They just can't have it. They're not good with acid in their stomach. I can handle it. My stomach is full of so much gunk. And anybody who is really disgusted by words like poop, liquid lava, anything like that, you're going to want to get off in a couple of minutes, because we're going to talk about all this stuff, because it's about true weight loss from the inside out. All the things that nobody wants to talk about, that they're just like, oh, exercise. Yes, exercise works, but your diet is important, and the reason why is how it affects your intestinal tract and your system. And once you learn how all of that works together, just like physics, chemistry, then you know how to manipulate it based on you and how your body reacts to certain things. Because every diet is not for everybody. Every exercise regime is not for everybody. And not everybody's gonna lose weight the same way. When I was a kid, I loved eating. My mom used to have vegetables in the backyard. Fresh grown vegetables with lettuce. I had BLTs, cereal, and that's it. If my mom made meat, I ate it, but I never ate rice. I never liked it. My body never liked it. And as I got older, I forced myself to eat foods that I didn't like, but I knew, like, you know what you like, you know what you don't like, you know what tastes good, you know what's healthy for you. But then you start listening to other people, and you start hanging out with people that have different habits, and you acquire those habits, and then that makes you change. When I started getting fat was when I met this girl, Christina V. And she was this skinny little Filipino that ate like a truck driver. And she used to eat, come on, Myra, eat, 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 eat. And I used to eat with her, and I ate late and whatever, but I wasn't built like her. And all of a sudden I started getting fat, and I started working late and eating late and all this crazy stuff. And that was the beginning of my downfall. Had I just followed the regime that worked for me, my, meat, fresh fruits and vegetables, like literally fresh from the yard, like you just picked it, which I'm starting to do next year, I would be fine. So what I learned about these Asian cultures is that they drink a lot of green tea, but they don't drink the green tea that we buy in packages. They drink like this real green tea where it's like leaves and stuff, and you have to go to like an Asian supermarket to buy it. Now, I live by an Asian supermarket, so I'm gonna try it the next time around, but right now, just to be like, because I'm still like American and my body's not acclimated to that, I bought regular green tea. So I want to show you what I've been doing. So what I've been doing is I've been cold brewing green tea. Well, actually, let's go to the fridge. Cold brewing green tea. And what that means is you take a pitcher of water and you put a tea bag in it at night. And then the next morning, like 12 hours later, or like, like when you go home from work, I usually do it for 12 to 24 hours. You just leave it in the fridge and it cold brews. It's called cold brewing, right? Let me open my fridge. So like, I have this big pitcher. This is what I drink at home. And I just put a tea bag in it and I leave it there. And then tomorrow I'm going to drink this. So these things are the ones that I use at home. Then I have ones that I use for when I'm out of the house. So if I know I'm leaving for the whole day, I'll pack 4 of these. These are the 10-ounce Voss water bottles. And I'll cold brew a bunch of tea. I'll put them in here and I'll take these with me, and this is what I drink. And somebody told me that it's important to drink the tea leaves, not to discard them. So I've been like, in some cases I will open up the tea bags and put all this stuff in there, and I actually drink all of it. And in some cases I actually have tea leaves from this company called Edo, but we're gonna get to that later. So I've been cold brewing my tea, drinking it lately. I drink about 5 to 10 cups of green tea a day, and there's gonna be so many people that are gonna be like, no, don't do that. Okay, look, I'm almost 6 feet tall and I'm 240 pounds. I am not a 150-pound woman that's 5'6". So what works for me, I'm going to need more than the average person. That makes sense. So you also have to look at your body weight and your mass. If you're a tiny little 4'11" woman that weighs like 100 or 120 pounds, you're going to need less than the average. The average is always for a 5'6" woman that's 150 pounds. Don't even get me started on the men. I don't know, but that's what it is. So I've been cold brewing my tea, and I put them in any bottle. Like, this is another bottle, like whatever bottle it fits in. And how I cold brew it is I use a Brita filter for the water, and then I take like this coffee pot, because it's not a kettle, the one that you put on a fire, it's just regular coffee pot. I fill it up with water, and I put 2 tea bags in for this big coffee pot. That's about 40 to 48 ounces. I use 2 tea bags for, and that's because I like the flavor. You know, some people might use 1, some people might use 3 or 4. Just depends on how strong you want it to be, but I just want to let you guys know what I'm doing. And the types of teas that I use, hi guys, it's a variety. So we're gonna go back in here. Yesterday I went to the Asian supermarket and I decided to try some other teas, but I still bought the American brands because I'm really not ready for the Asian teas. I saw them, I was this close to buying them, and then I stopped. So I got this one, which is organic green tea, because I figure if I'm gonna get green tea, might as well be organic, right? So there's 100 of tea bags in this, and I spent $6 for them. I know they're like $8 or $10 online for 100 tea bags. Make sure they're organic. Some lady that I worked with on the Upper West Side told me to only buy organic green tea. And like, you know, I feel like every time somebody gives me a message, it might be a message from God or whatever, or the universe trying to tell me something. So I'm like, okay. This one I got from a lady that I was helping move. I love this. This is so delicious. Every time I drink a bottle that has this, I'm like, oh, it's so good. It's refreshing. It has like a blueberry taste. It's called Blueberry Slim Tea by Yogi. I love this. I have to go on eBay and see if I can buy these in bulk. This is delicious, delicious. Then I bought this lavender green tea because my roommate, before she moved, had rose green tea. And I've been using it. It doesn't really, I don't taste the difference. I think people just get excited because they see the name. But I just made a batch today, so I won't be able to try it till tomorrow. But I figured, why not? I'll try it. My favorite all time is peppermint. Oh, geez, don't even get me started with the peppermint. I'm just gonna go like that. So do you see that? Can you see it? I don't know if I can. Nope, that's the Celestial. Well, whatever. Let me just pull it out. I was trying to be lazy. Celestial Seasonings caffeine-free peppermint tea. And you know what? I try to mix it up a little bit because I think there might be too much caffeine in it if I just go straight with the green tea. So I like to mix it up with some of the Celestial Seasonings caffeine-free, but they're not really caffeine-free. It just reduces the amount of caffeine, but it's not really caffeine-free. There's still caffeine in it, people. Then, so with each tea bag that I put in, I told you I put 2, I also put in a slim tea. So these are the teas that make you poop. This is when you want to shut it off if you don't like these words, because I'm about to get really ugly and descriptive about intestinal systems and things like that. So this is called slim tea. This one isn't as bad as the Mama Jamma, the Mac Daddy, Tres Ballerinas. Now this comes in a box, but I take it out and I put them all together. The 3 Ballerina tea, this tea, you cannot leave the house for 24 hours after drinking this tea because you don't know when you're going to erupt. And the moment that you decide, or your body, not even you, decides to go, you're stuck in that bathroom for a couple of hours. It's going to be like back to back. You're going to go to the bathroom, you're going to come out and be like, oh, I'm okay. Nope. And then you're going to run back in. You have to run. People in the house need to know that you're doing this because they can't take hour showers. They can't keep the bathroom door closed. It's better if you have 1.5 baths or 2 baths. I'm telling you right now, this is no joke. No joke. I'm trying to be as serious as possible. This will clear out your intestinal tract if you drink this often. So I'll take one of these, and when this is too strong, I'll take one of these because this is easier. And I put that with one of the green tea bags, and I let it seep overnight. And for me, because I have a very like jacked up intestinal tract system, like I was looking like I was pregnant and I wasn't, because of all the bloating and the everything. So when I started taking the turmeric and the vinegar, my stomach went down a lot, like a lot. And then I started taking the green teas and I started getting everything out. Then it was starting to clear up. So I just wanted to share that with you. This is Japanese green tea. It's Ito-en. by the company Ito-en. These are actually leaves, and when you get them, they look dried out and whatever, but then you put them in the water and they actually turn into real leaves. I drink the leaves. Like, this is the one that I recommend putting in your tea and then drinking everything, including the leaves, is this Ito-en. That's the brand, Ito-en, Japanese green tea. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And then I have some other some other teas that my friend brought me that are from Japan or China. And they're like in these cute little bins, and I think they're beautiful and they taste delicious. So that's another option right there. A very special, wonderful friend that I am so unbelievably grateful for. God only knows, and hopefully he'll get it one day. That he like blessed me 10 times over. So I'm putting all my teas away, and now we're going to talk about your intestinal tract. So I don't know about you guys, but I was the kind of person that, like, I went to the bath. Oh, and then I like the sleepy time. It has like a citrus peppermint taste. I like anything with mint. For some reason, I don't like mint gum. I don't like really anything with mint, but I like the teas with the mint. They're just refreshing and cool, maybe because I cold brew it. When I brew the teas in hot water, I don't like them. So some people, they actually like to brew the tea in hot water and then make batches, like brew the tea in hot water, put it in a pitcher, and then, what's it called? And then put it in bottles, right? So I have to charge my phone because it's dying. What I like to do is put it in the pitcher with cold water or warm water, and then put the bags in and then drink them, because I feel like it's a crisper. It's more crisp. You actually taste the flavors that you're supposed to taste. I feel like when you boil the water, sometimes it gets a little bitter. And it's that flavor that sometimes people don't like about tea, but I really do. What else? And we're talking about the intestinal tract now, right? So I used to not go to the bathroom very often. And again, if you're very like disgusted by words of like poop and stuff, just turn it off now. I'm giving you warning points, right? And I used to go to the bathroom maybe once every other day or once a day. And when I did, it really wasn't a lot. And I thought to myself, I'm like, my belly's really big. I'm consuming a large amount of food. The amount of food that I'm consuming isn't coming out. Something's wrong, right? I went to a GI doctor because my family history requested that I did, and they said that there's nothing wrong with it. You know, I just needed to clear it out, and that I'm starting from scratch, because like when you go to a GI doctor, they have you drink like this saline liquid that flushes your whole system out, like all of it. So I was starting with a new system, but then I messed it up because I have bad habits. So just understand that it's not going to be easy, because you already have all these really bad habits that you have to break. So my journey right now, it's July 18th. My journey started in December when I started juicing, which you'll see in my other videos. And then I started going into like vegan desserts, because I love desserts, but I wanted to do it healthier. Like I love cakes and cookies and, like, oh my God. Right now I'm going to go make some like 5-minute muffins that it's 2 bananas, 2 eggs, a cup of nut butter, a teaspoon of vanilla, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, or half a teaspoon of baking soda, sorry, a teaspoon. And then you mix it all together, and then you put it in the muffin tin, and you top it with like some chocolate chips or whatever, or coconut shavings or whatever you want, and you put it in the microwave for 15 minutes. Or you can just wait and put it in for 15 minutes and then put the toppings on. But that's easy, and it's simple, and it's all natural. Like, you don't have to worry about it. And they have other ones with oatmeal if you want it to be more of like a traditional, where you use like oatmeal instead of flour. You know, that's awesome. Or you can make your own oat flour if you have a Vitamix, and then you use that instead, which I used to always do, which I'm going to start doing again, because oat flour really works a lot like flour. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So we were talking about your intestinal system. So what happens is that I wasn't really going to the bathroom on a regular basis. So I started drinking the tea, the slim tea and the ballerina tea. And what happened is that when I drank the tea, I boiled it and I drank it, I would get these crazy intestinal cramps, and it would flush out my system. But it's like, it was so severe and so bad, and it hurt so much. But it worked, you know what I mean? And it's like, you had to stay home, because if you were driving, you're shitting your pants. I'm sorry, excuse me, but like, you are, you know, liquid lava, everything's coming out. It's blowing out of your butt. Like, I want you guys to understand the severity of how serious these teas are. You know, like, you're not going to take it and be like, but when you cold brew it, for some reason, and maybe it's just me, when you cold brew it, and you drink it, you do have to go to the bathroom, but it's not that explosive bathroom break that you need to take. It's more of like, oh my God, I need to go to the bathroom. And you still have enough time to get there and everything comes out. And I'm telling you, from when I drink the turmeric and the vinegar, I do it like every morning for a couple of days or every other morning. It depends on like how I feel. And then I also do the green tea. Ever since I started, this part is disgusting. I mean, if you didn't think the other parts were disgusting. But like when I used to go to the bathroom, the diameter of my stool was like the size of a quarter or larger. And ever since I started drinking the teas, it's only been like 2 weeks. And ever since I started doing the turmeric and the vinegar, it's like the size of a pencil, which is weird. But I think it's because it's shrinking my intestinal tract. So it's actually getting it makes it like constrict. You know, it constricts your blood vessels and it constricts your intestinal tract. So now, what I used to eat a full plate of food, I could eat a full plate of food, dessert, whatever. I was a normal American. I could pig out. Let's do this. I can't do that anymore. Like literally, if I eat a hamburger, I eat half of it. You know, maybe I can eat the whole thing. I can't eat all the fries anymore, you know, or I'll eat a couple of bites or whatever, and then I'll just save it. And then 20 minutes to an hour later, I'm going to want some more. That was never me. And I'm so happy because it's what I wanted, that like I'm sharing it with you guys. And I know that for some people, they're like, why are you talking about this? Because we need to have these conversations. For people that are like me, I'm not going to cry, that are like struggling with weight loss, that like, okay, I'm going to cry. That like they're just so tired of being fat and they don't know what to do, and like everything that everybody says isn't working. Like maybe, just maybe, this will reach some people, but understand this isn't gonna work for everyone. And some people it's actually gonna be bad for. Like you might, you know, some people say that you drink too much green tea and it's bad for your kidneys, and some people say that it's not, it's good. You know, everybody's body's gonna react differently. So when you watch this, don't think like, oh, this is gonna be great, and then you have a heart attack and you get mad at me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what your body's like, and I don't know how it's gonna react. I can't imagine turmeric, vinegar, and green tea are gonna give you a heart attack. But if you read it, if you drink a lot of green tea, like 10 cups a day, you might have kidney problems because your kidneys can't filter it out because it's just too much to bear, you know. But I can't imagine that happening if you're drinking a 2-liter Diet Coke every day. You know what I mean? Because your body's already filtering all that stuff out. So, you know what I mean? It just depends on your diet and stuff like that. But I'm sharing this with you guys, and I'm getting this intimate and this personal because I know what it is to like go through this process, and I know what it is to try to lose weight, and it's like no matter what you do, it's not working, and it's like you lose 10 pounds and you get so excited, and then like a day later you're freaking 10 pounds heavier. It's like, really? Do you know what I mean? And I've been stuck at this stupid weight of 240. I was 155 my whole life, and then I started gaining weight and gaining weight. I took the Depo-Vero shot, gained 100 pounds in 3 months. You know, I had already gained some weight because I was hanging out with this girl, Christina, because there's another Christina, and I gained weight, you know, from the job that we had and the eating habits that I developed with her, but I couldn't get rid of the weight for like 12 years, and now I'm finally, you know, I've changed my eating habits, so that's part of it, you know, but I feel different, and it's working, do you know what I mean, and I'm finally happy. And if I can help one person, through this, then, you know, so be it. Like, just turmeric alone is amazing for your inflammation of your intestines and for your memory. And it has a lot of properties, but too much of anything is not good. You know, my body's very different. I've known since I was a kid, my body works very differently than 95% of the United States. I can handle obscene amounts of liquor. I can handle obscene amounts of like fried foods and whatever. I don't get diarrhea. I've never had diarrhea my whole life. Never. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't get stomach cramps. I don't get stomach pains. I don't get stomach aches. I don't get headaches. Very seldom. You know, I don't get pains. Like, I just had back pain 3 times. Like, I'm not normal in any way whatsoever. I'm like the anomaly, which is why it's my favorite word. I'm the anomaly, you know? So that's what I'm saying. It's going to work for some people really, really well. And it's not going to work for others. And for others, it's going to be like a miracle. And for others, it's going to be like, well, that's just another thing. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, I'm studying these people. All the people that are naturally thin because their culture's thin. If you go to Flushing Main Street and you watch Koreans eat, they're savages. I'm sorry. There are 3 people at a table and they have a giant table full of food, the whole thing, appetizers, and they're eating. They eat everything on the table and then they go home and they poop it out. And that's what they do. And I'm just like, that's not fair. You know what I mean? Like, how come nobody's telling us? And then when we do talk about it, it's called bulimia or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, or a form of bulimia. But it's like, that's what they do. And that's why they stay thin and they continue to maintain their body. They don't eat, not everything they eat is healthy, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the food they do eat is healthy. You know, the Japanese culture is the most amazing, but tea is a very big part of it. They have a lot of vinegars, believe it or not, in their food, which actually works in your intestinal tract as well. So look at the way that Asian people prepare their food, the things that they use, the habits that they have on a daily basis. One of my friends was Korean. Every time I went to her house, she only had water in the fridge with a whole onion in it, and all they drank was onion water. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, it takes all the grease out of your food. When you pee, you actually see all the fat come out. I've never had regular water. I just drink onion water. What? I won't do that. I'll do the tea, you know, but they do that. They have these things that nobody's talking about, and here we are struggling, trying to figure it out. Like, don't get me wrong, I eat. You know what I mean? I eat junk food too. I just had some buffalo wings and a cheeseburger. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, you have to eat. No. But in moderation. So I eat everything I want, but I eat a little bit of it. Beyonce said that once. She's like, I eat everything I want. I just have little bites of it. You know, it's all in your brain. You can have whatever you want. Just don't go crazy. Find somebody to share it with. You know, if you have a boyfriend, give him the majority and just take a couple bites and give him the rest to eat. You know, if you're with your family, do the same thing. But for all of you guys that are seriously struggling, now this is not including exercise. Like, you have to exercise. Like, I started dancing 1 hour a day because to me, dancing is an exercise. And when I dance, it's like throw down, like choreography session. I've been dancing like in a dance school for years, and now I'm the teacher kind of thing. I'm not saying that's but that's how I dance. Like, I dance like I'm on So You Think You Can Dance. I do. For like an hour a night. And as you can see from my skin, it's great because you're sweating. And showers. You want to take hot showers. Asian people always go into saunas. And what happens is that it opens up your pores and it allows the toxins to come out of your body. A lot of the fat that's in your body is because toxins build up and then they convert into fat. Look it up. So it's not coming out. And with all the lotions that you might put on your skin, they're actually blocking your pores so that they can't come out. So when you take a hot shower, don't burn yourself. You know what I mean? Go into like a jacuzzi. If your gym has a sauna, go there. If you can't, then just take a hot shower. It'll open up your pores and things will start coming out of them. And then sweat. Find some activity. Girl, if you could have sex because I'm all about that. I haven't had sex in forever, like going close to years. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you can have it and get a workout with it, then do it. I encourage that. Yes, go and sweat your butt off. Then there's like, you know, biking and hiking and all the normal things. Moving and whatever. If your friends are moving, help them. You know, get that sweat on, but sweat a little bit every day. Okay, it doesn't have to be a lot. Just sweat a little. Even if it's just you're outside and it's hot and you're like, oh my God, sweat a little bit every day. You have to get these things out of your body. You can't think like, oh my God, but that's so disgusting. It's disgusting, but you're 300 pounds. That's not disgusting? Really? You're 2-something. That's not disgusting. Yeah, I suggest you get your sweat on. Yeah, and that's kind of cruel and you're like, oh, whatever. Get your sweat on. Let all these things come out of your pores. It's important. They're not supposed to be in there. If you have bad breath and like stinky whatever, you know, like some people's feet stink, their underarms stink. Those are the toxins that are trying so hard to get out of your body. Put your feet in some water with some baking soda and it'll put the toxins out. Take a bath with some baking soda. Clear out your intestinal tract. That's what this whole video is about. Clearing out your intestinal tract so that you can go ahead and start anew. so that your intestines can shrink. It's almost like gastric bypass without the surgery. It's a slower, easier way to shrink your stomach and shrink your bowels so that you can have the opportunity to be thinner. Is it going to work for everybody? No, because people are always going to cheat. People are going to lie to themselves. They're not going to work out. They're not going to sweat. They're not going to do anything else that you need to do. But when you make that decision, when you wake up one day and you're like, I am done being fat. I am done. This is the year. Then you'll see the changes. Because I tell myself every day before I do anything, I'm like size 10. I'm a 14, between a 14 and a 16 now. All I want to do is be a 9, 10 again. That's when I was at my skinniest. That's when I was the happiest. I had the most energy. I felt good about myself. I walked in a room and I was like, yeah, I own this place. You know, and I knew that everybody was looking at me because I was stunning. And I want that back. So every time, that's what I tell myself. I'm like, size 10. And I'm like, is that a size 10 decision? You know, and then I'm like, no, but if I eat this, then I gotta exercise. So I know if I'm gonna eat these chicken nuggets, then I'm gonna have to do an hour worth of exercise. Okay, fine, I'll do that. But I'm doing whatever I need to do because the goal is a size 10. And that's it. So I wanted to share the green tea with you. I wanted to share the turmeric with you. I want you to look at all the skinny people that you know. Watch them. They have certain habits. Mimic those habits. You want to be somewhere, you got to look at somebody who has what you want and you got to do exactly what they're doing and you'll have what they have at some point. But you can't do it just by watching. You have to copy it, emulate it, do it, actually put the action behind it. And this is a very passive way. It's a good starting point to get your body moving in the right direction for weight loss, to prepare it to accept the juices, to prepare it to accept all the good food that you're going to choose to put into your body going forward. There are a lot of delicious recipes that are just as good as the fattening recipes that are alternatives. Look them up. Take the time to do the research and try them. And you'll see some of these mac and cheeses are better their version than they are like the traditional version. Not everything has to be bad for you. You know, there's a lot of people out there working, trying to make it better for everybody. So I hope this video made a lot of sense to some people. It's not meant to reach everybody, so if it didn't reach you, sorry. You know, but I hope it reaches the people that it's meant to reach because I was compelled to speak. And I hope that the person that I was meant to speak for hears this message. So peace out.